Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Shout out to my YouTube, Instagram, and my Facebook family. So, once again, I'm gonna be real quick, but today's been a sad day, a very sad day. If you know anything about Rick Chow and our young brother Cyrus, pretty much the story goes is that Cyrus, young brother, went to a Asian store, corner store, and when he walked in, they said, "Hey, leave your book bag in the front." He left his book bag in the front, and then he walked over to some water bottles. Now, it's kind of gray as to what happened when he walked to the water bottles. Long story short, because this is real sad. It's a real sad story. But long story short, he walks to the water bottles and he grabs some water and then he puts it back. And as he's walking out, the store owner, his son Andy, and his wife accuse him of stealing, right? And he's like, "I didn't steal anything." And they're like, "Yes, you did. Yes, you did." And he's like, "No, I didn't. I didn't steal anything." And they're like, "Yes, you did. Where's the water at?" And he's like, "I put him back in the refrigerator." Throughout the argument, they go back and forth in the argument. Then at some point, he's like, "Hey, I'm about to leave." Now, once again, Cyrus, a 14-year-old, he's 14. Once again, guys, he's 14. 14. 1-4. He leaves the store. Now he has a firearm on him, so they say. And if you come from our certain environments, this story is super sad to me. But if you come from our environments, you know that sometimes you need something to protect you. You know what I'm saying? Because the environment can be rough. So on video, it shows him walking in the store, he gets his bag, they approach him, and so he leaves the store. As he's leaving the store, he's accosted by Rick Chow, the Asian guy. And they start chasing him. They chase him for 400 feet. If you know what 400 feet is, that's at least 2 or 3 blocks. So the story goes, he throws his gun, his firearm. And so when he does, we can't see video, but all of a sudden, the 14-year-old becomes unalived. Right? Imagine being 14. If you were ever 14 and being shot at, and the bullets actually hitting your body. Now, they go through trial. I'm sorry, guys. That's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's real. That's how you know this video is real. They go through trial. Once again, that's how you know this video is real. There's no editing. We're not gonna do any editing. I could edit if I wanted to, but I don't want to edit. I want to let y'all know this is real. But through trial, information comes out that Rick Chow, the Asian corner store owner, Chinese, this isn't his first incident of shootings. He shot a lady before. He shot another person before. This isn't just happenstance. He has a pattern of behavior. What would they call that? In legal terms. Motive operandi or something of that sort. But he has a certain behavior that when things go wrong for Rick Chow, he pulls out his gun, a 4.5 caliber, and starts shooting. But anyway, long story short, with Cyrus, they find Rick Chow not guilty. Now, this is what I want to say to the black community. To the black community. We are partially at the blame. If we owned our own stores, Cyrus would have never went through that. The fact that we have Asians in our community owning all the gas stations, the liquor stores, and whatnot is a problem. The East Indians owning all the gas stations, liquor stores, that's a problem. The wing spots, the Chinese takeout, this is a problem. The nail shops, we get disrespected. Because within American society, no different from other societies, the Asians, the East Indians, the Mexicans are like a buffer between us and the Europeans. Right? They throw them in the middle to act like, don't look at us. No, it's not our fault. It's an Asian guy. It's not our fault. It's a Mexican guy. It's not our fault. It's the, you know what I'm saying? And with the young brother Cyrus being 14 and being shot in the street like a dog, it's time for us to divest. Us black people need to stop shopping at Asian stores, East Indian stores, Mexican stores, because all these nationalities and ethnicity groups have been taught by the white man, and they hate us just as much as the white man hates us. Instagram, take my page. I don't care. YouTube, Facebook, take my page. Because I don't care. I live a real life. And I'm a real person in the real world. You know? I don't need social media to feel like a good person. And I know people sit there and say, like my mother told me, like, you gotta relax. I say, Mom, I don't care about social media. It's a joke. Social media is a joke. But I'm gonna tell you is, that little brother was murdered at 14. And if you come from where I come from, we've seen a lot of us brothers being unalived in many different ways. Black men, black brothers, we have no friends. We have no friends. The reason why we have no friends is because us as African people were the first people put on this planet. We ruled the world for over 250,000 years. Some speculate 2 million years. We were the first people on planet Earth. That's the reason why you can do a DNA test with anybody on Earth. If you look at their genealogy, it always go back to Africa. And me, I'm 100% African. I am the Homo sapien sapien. Pause. I don't think I had to say that. Homo sapien sapien. But anyway. The young brother Cyrus lost his life. He lost his life. Just like Mike Brown, Tamir Rice, and a lot of other brothers. What I'm saying is to us people, as black people, we need to get to Pan-Africanism. Because this is not just an American African thing. It's a global thing. A global thing. We just need to make sure that we keep our spirituality, keep our thoughts and prayers with God, but at the same time, our revolutionary spirit cannot stop. What do I mean by that? You might sit there and think, something's wrong with me, something's wrong. No, something's wrong with this society. All this money, you see all this money, right? Somebody told me I was on green screen. This looks like green screen? This ain't green screen. I'm really outside. I'm really doing this. I don't play games. If you met me in real person, in real life, you feel the energy. But anyway, is there anything else I want to say? To young brother Cyrus, I apologize. We failed you. Especially us as black men. We failed you. I understand why you had a gun. Let me give a little background on Mariah. We were playing with guns at a young age. And now I know what people might think is, oh, you're playing with guns. No, at a young age, we come from certain environments where it's happening. Your favorite rapper and all the lyrics they talk about, we live it. We live it. Like it's real. And for us, we don't look at it like that. We really don't look at it like that. It's happening. Oh, it goes from a fight in a park to all of a sudden a gun, and all of a sudden it gets to a certain space to where it's like where the gun's coming from, you know? So when I see a 14-year-old boy with a gun, Cyrus, and he throws it, I understand who he is. I know him. I grew up with him. I am him. He didn't have a gun to rob a place. He had a gun to protect himself. Like, do the Google search on what neighborhood did he grow up in? What's going on in his neighborhood? You know, we used to walk. I remember one time I was going home. It was like 15, 16 guys outside chasing me, right? So I told my brother, Keith, shout out to Keith. I was like, bro, they almost jumped me. My brother Keith gave me a gun. He said, huh? So every time I walk home, I'll take the gun. Every morning I wake up, I go back to him, give him the gun. I understand, like, he's not a bad kid, I could tell. He probably needs that gun because he's growing up in an environment which was set by what? Ghettos don't just happen, they're created. The hood doesn't just happen, it's being created. Read the Coroner Report by Lyndon B. Johnson. It'll tell you exactly how the ghetto is created. Why my stomach look that big? I just look big dog. Yeah, big dog. But being 14 with a gun is nothing new to us. We grew up with them. You know? And so I gotta get up out of here, but I just watched a little documentary on Cyrus, the young brother. I'm sorry about this situation. Us as black men gotta do better to protect you. But you have to understand, we grew up in this white supremacist society. You know? It is what it is. So to all my young brothers out there, take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Take care of yourself. Especially to the young brother. Don't get tricked. I've been through a lot. Me and all my brothers been through a lot. You know? We've been through a lot. At an early age. And it's just, it is what it is. But I ain't gonna take too much of your time. But once again, I just want to tell the young brothers, make sure you're making wise decisions. Wise. Think about the future. Think about the ripple effects. So you have a gun. Like, once again, he walked into a store just to get some water. And all of a sudden they see a gun and now they're thinking you're trying to rob him. He's like, no, I'm not trying to rob y'all. I just gotta get home safe. But if you don't come from that environment, if you don't know what that is, like, I just want to get home safe. You think he's a murderous robber or killer. No, I guarantee you, the reason why, if that was his gun, and the child implanted on him, he only had it for protection. Y'all don't understand where we're coming from. You guys have no idea what this is. You grow up in an environment that's been beat over the head a million times. Guns, drugs are flooded, and you're just trying to be a good kid. But you going home and somebody picking on you, messing with you, punching you, beating you up. Eventually that kid's gonna be like, yo, I need something to protect myself. A gun. That kid, Cyrus, just looking at his photos, he wasn't a threat. I can tell, he was not a threat. He was not a bad kid. Hold on, let me see. Cyrus, how old is he? Oh no, he was 14 when he died. How old would he be today? I think he'd be like 21. But anyway, I just gotta say that. Rest in peace to brother Cyrus. And Cyrus, you know the slogan, chase knowledge, don't chase money. Peace, love, positivity.